Last couple of years, BBC London has broken a number of stories concerning the phenomenon of beds in sheds, exposing rogue landlords who cram illegal immigrant tenants into garages and shacks, often in terrible, squalid conditions. But there are other forms of sheds with beds. Some councils are having to crack down on more upmarket forms of clandestine outbuildings that have been springing up in people's back gardens, a trend fuelled by the capital's growing housing crisis. Mark Jordan has the story.
Hey, open the door now!
The hidden world of beds in sheds, under the radar, overcrowded and run by slum landlords. A shocking hidden London, living in back gardens. The government's poured hundreds of thousands into clearing it up. Here in Ealing, they found 17 suspected illegal immigrants living in a cluster of unofficial properties. Lured by easy cash, the unauthorized garden structures are going up across suburban London. This really is bizarre. In a country with so much housing regulation, here we have a large building, almost brand new, all the mod cons, and yet officially, it doesn't exist. But it's more than cheap shacks and illegal raids. There's a new story to tell. When London Borough started investigating this issue, at first it was about squalid shacks in the back of gardens. But what you're seeing now, just a few years later, is desirable residences being built illegally in back gardens. Some of these outhouses are even being advertised in high street estate agents. Over in Brent, the council have used the government money to undertake their own survey, which means painstaking door-to-door research.
Hello there, sorry to disturb you. I'm from Brent Council's planning department.
The team discover a property that's undergoing major work. It's being converted into bedsits, and in the back garden, there's a bungalow divided into 2 flats.
As you can see in here, we've got a fridge freezer. Over there, we've got a kitchen, a bathroom, everything for day-to-day living. So this is a self-contained flat. It's not yet occupied. It looks like we've caught them in the act of just finishing it off.
And nobody's ever applied to you to put what is effectively a home at the end of a garden?
No, there's no planning permission for this.
Structurally, I mean, this isn't a shack. This is a proper little home.
Oh yeah, they're well built, these ones. Well built. But it's still substandard accommodation.
While Tim and his colleagues are surveying the bungalow, the owner's son arrives at the front.
I'm concerned that it doesn't have any planning permission and it needs planning permission.
Right.
Okay, and you're building it's got a toilet, it's got a...
That's not to do with any renting purposes or anything like that.
Okay.
Brent's survey has turned up hundreds of outhouses in the borough built in this way. An alarming number are being found occupied by tenants. Just coming up with you today, the one thing that really strikes me is the sheer number. I mean, one after another, just looking down there.
Yes, there's so many, and we're trying to put a stop to it because it's unacceptable that these large buildings are built in people's back gardens without any due course to the environment.
We view another cottage. The owner says it's used for domestic purposes.
When did you build it?
2007.
2007,
Yeah.
okay.
If the cottage has been there for more than 4 years, the owner is in the clear. Why would the 4 years be such a convenient date?
Because it would mean it'd be immune from planning enforcement action if it was built 4 years ago.
Owner after owner tell Tim the structure is over 4 years old. Here, satellite photography allows verification of building dates in Brent Gardens.
We've got aerial photography from 2007, 2008, 2010 and 2012, and then you can just compare between the two.
So when people tell you, oh, it's been there for 7 years, and you go around with a photo like this, and you say it was never there?
Yeah, that's right, I do, and it's amazing how many times they think the photo is not very good or not accurate.
Tim showed me one particular garage conversion that has a demolition order on it.
That little garage there.
Wow. So that's the tiny little garage that was originally with the house. And what did it become?
It became something twice as big.
Wow, you can see
You can
exactly.
see how much
it's
bigger
double
it
the
is.
size.
It's double the size, absolutely.
Others are detected when neighbours raise concerns about changes at the bottom of their gardens, like telltale signs of life in a terrace of 1930s garages. So here's what's going on. This is a garage door if you walk past, but inside, this doesn't open. This is a flat inside. Behind a fake garage door, there's a family. Their home has no external windows. It's an extended garage that they call home. Do you like this home?
I like them, but it's small home.
It's a small home.
Yes,
How much do you pay a month?
1,000.
1,000.
Yes, per month.
But this is a garage. It's not a house.
Yeah, but I rented this house in agents.
Perhaps more shocking was that Andreas then showed me receipts from a registered estate agent's Milestone of Willesden. They've taken more than £2,000 in rent and deposits on behalf of the landlord. Andreas isn't the only one. From Newham through Southwark to Ealing, councils have told us of estate agents marketing garages and sheds that fail to meet the most basic legal requirements, such as windows.
There are probably hundreds more properties that we're missing, and all these estate agents who are advertising these types of properties, right, will be contacted by our enforcement teams as well.
Even the estate agent's own watchdog says alarm bells should be ringing, renting places like this as a home.
A letting agent is the professional in the transaction. It's the agent's responsibility to make further inquiries, to be more diligent in understanding the status of that property before they describe it to prospective tenants.
I'm going back to Andreas with an interpreter. I've heard his estate agents have paid him a visit. Andrea, what's happened since we last met a week ago?
Last semana.
The agency came and they asked me not to show the contracts or the receipts to the BBC. I told them that I already had.
Ignoring the council, the owners of this £1,000 a month garage say they've done nothing wrong. At their letting agency, the manager has repeatedly refused to answer our questions. With no windows. And on visiting, the sales team deny it's even on their books.
I understand what you're saying.
And
I know what you're telling me
you
what
put
it is,
people in
but I
there.
don't know where it is. It's not on my system, nor do I know what you're talking about. So to be honest with you, if you don't mind, I'd request that you leave.
Well, no answers there, but Brent Council do have one final sanction. A council enforcement notice means Andreas's garage could soon be demolished. And it's no empty threat. Remember the satellite pictures of this enlarged garage? Owners had 6 months to take it down. They haven't. Time's up. The council's going to do it for them. It's now a home under the sledgehammer. So here we have another fake garage door, but this one has a driveway that you couldn't probably get a car down. When the owner's family get wind of the demolition, they're not happy.
Yes, we have a garage. I'm going to black or white. I'm not going to continue.
But eventually it becomes clear they can't do anything about it. The fake garage door comes off, revealing a solid wall. Taking this down will cost around £8,000. The bill will be sent to the owner.